What's the status on solar power? It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Renewable energy is on our minds. Bill Gates himself, co-founder of Microsoft, recently said that we are in need of an energy miracle. So, could solar power be that miracle? Well, it's a story we've heard for decades. I mean, harnessing the sun's rays to generate sweet electricity has a lot of appeal, so what's standing in the way? Well, traditionally, two big barriers were cost and efficiency. But there are two other issues that we have to deal with. One is, we can only generate electricity while the sun is up, right? I mean, otherwise the solar panels aren't catching any rays. The other is, once you generate that electricity, you need to use it, or store it, or you lose it. In other words, if you don't put it to work right away or charge a battery with it, it goes to waste. Fortunately, batteries have been getting cheaper over time. Bill Gates even envisions a future where we have batteries the size of swimming pools. But in the meantime, we're seeing these battery systems for homes get to a level where the average person could actually afford to switch to solar power if it makes sense for that person. But how can you tell if it makes sense? Aha! Here's where a spin-off company from MIT called MapDwell comes into play. They send low-flying aircraft to measure the tops of buildings in urban areas. They then figure out which ones are suitable for solar panels, and they plot this information against an aerial view map. So you just look at your building or your house and you see if solar panels make sense for you. They even include information about tax incentives you might be eligible for, and also how much utilities cost in your area, so you'll know how much you save over time. They're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to make a responsible decision. But what about on the big scale? Bill Gates had talked about the possibility of using solar energy to create fuel. How? I don't know, but I do know that we've got some really cool ideas that come close to this, like solar towers that are generating electricity on the megawatt scale. A company called Solar Reserve has already built one of these towers in the United States. Just imagine a really tall tower, like 640 feet high or 195 meters tall, surrounded by banks of mirrors that reflect sunlight at the top of those towers. Now, at the top, you install solar-absorbing panels. These transfer thermal energy, that is, heat, to the inside of the tower. Within the tower itself, you have a network of pipes carrying liquid molten salts. We're talking at temperatures of around 550 to 1050 degrees Fahrenheit, or 288 to 566 degrees Celsius. That molten salt turns water into steam. The steam turns a turbine and that generates electricity. And here's the best thing. At night, all that molten salt can go into a tank and continue to heat water. So 24 hours a day, you have electricity on demand, all courtesy of the sun, even though the sun's not out. How awesome is that? So from the small scale to the large scale, solar power is going to play an important part in our future. And if we want to reach that future that Bill Gates was talking about, we're going to rely very heavily on young people coming up with innovative ideas, thinking outside the box to come up with solutions that we can't even imagine right now. This is a ripple effect that's going to go across the entire world. And that's pretty exciting stuff. Now, I've got a question for all of you out there. Have any of you attempted to get off the grid or supplement your energy needs in some way? Let me know your stories in the comments below. Thanks to Toyota for sponsoring this show and making it possible. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that little like button down there. And don't forget to join the Forward Thinking Think Tank by subscribing to the channel. After all that, check out these other amazing videos about the future right over here.